Axel's graduation picture day. How are you gonna smile? Oh, that's so cute. So, excuse the way I look because I look like a hot mess. This t-shirt I wore one day this weekend and then I took it off. And then it's just one of those shirts that you throw aside. I threw it back on this morning, take the boys to school. Well, take Axel to school. Roman's been feeling a little under the weather today. His allergies has just gotten really bad. And it's kind of like a process for his medicine to really start kicking in and helping him. I was going through it 2 weeks ago. I was so bad. I kept losing my voice. My eyes kept watering like crazy. So I totally feel for him. But it has been a Monday. We actually just went and picked up Axel from school. So, yeah, I've kind of already had my day. But I actually plan on filming this afternoon. I know I say that and then I don't follow through. But I'm hoping that I do follow through. But something really exciting this morning that I was excited for anyways. I got my We Read King book club sticker and I'm so excited. It's a little bit bigger than what I thought. I actually picked up a couple things, so I'll show you guys. But check out her Etsy. It's We Read King. She just has a few options right now. But I'm excited. I hope that she continues this. This is Beth from the We Read King book club that I've been following along. We're currently doing the Bill Hodges trilogy. I got on there to get this sticker because she said that she only ordered a certain amount and I was like, oh my gosh, I really want that and I didn't want to miss out. So I jumped on there, but while I was on there, I seen that she also had the Spooky Babe one and also this one, which is so freaking cute. I love horror movies, as you guys know. But this one's actually a magnet. So I don't know. I might see if it will stick to my skincare, little mini fridge. But if not, it's just going to go on our fridge in our kitchen. And it is what it is. I love it. But the problem I'm running into is the fact that with my journal, this is kind of just what I do. I just start sticking stickers on it and whatever I think looks good at the time. And I didn't really plan ahead for larger stickers. So I'm running into this issue where even if I put it up here, it covers up the middle one. I don't really have a place to put it on here without it looking kind of weird and not being able to see the sticker that I got from Clear Start. So yeah, I'm wanting to, I don't know. I'm maybe I can just put Spooky Babe on this one somewhere. I have another sticker that I ordered off Etsy too. I don't know. Oh, I think it's in here actually. It's in my journal. I put it back here because I was like, I'm going to wait since I just ordered more stickers so I can make sure I plan out a little bit better. But yeah. But how cute is that? Little antidepressants, and it's a jar full of, or a pill bottle full of books. So I'm like, you know, that could go on the front somewhere, and I could have Spooky Babe on there somewhere, but this one, I don't know what to do with it. I'm like, I don't know if I should just use it on maybe a page in here that I mentioned the book club and all the books we read for the month, or not the month, the year, because I plan on, I'm a little behind on it, you guys, but I plan on doing a page for each book club. For example, this is one of my pages I have, and it's the buzzword 2023 reading challenge from Books and Lala, Kayla's buzzword. So this isn't her book club, but it's her one of her reading challenges that she does throughout the year. And so I made a whole page for it, and that's what I plan on doing with each book club that I'm participating in this year. I need, like I said, I need to update it, but I actually forgot and I did not read a book with secrets. So I need to do that this month. Yeah, I want to have a page for each one. So I'm like, maybe I could just use that. But also if she does these stickers for each time we're reading a new book, I'm kind of I don't know. I kind of want to decorate it. So then I'm thinking maybe the back of the book. But the thing is, I'm I probably don't want to center it because I'm going to screw myself if the next stickers are really big too. So I don't know. I can't decide right now. Hey guys, just a little vlog check-in. I did do my brows already. So little sidebar here. This video is not sponsored, but I was sent this eyebrow stamp from iMethod. You can get one and try it out yourself from Amazon. I will have their link down below and I will tag them down below. They did reach out and asked if I wanted to try this out and if I would want to put it in one of my videos. So this is what it looks like. It is from iMethod Beauty, and it is like those like actual brow stamps that went viral a little while back. And it's where you take your stamp and put it on, and then they have like the applicator to like stamp it on. Honestly, going into it, here's the process. So you can see we have in the bag the actual pomade itself, which is a little questionable in shade for me. We will see how that goes, but there's also the tweezers, and then we have the stamp applicator, a little spoolie, and like little brush to kind of help, I guess, make the brows look a little bit more realistic. There is also like the stamps and then like the how-to, and they included some cute little stickers as well. So first, I guess, is just figuring out which stamp I need to use. Maybe something like this. I have very fair brows, so it's going to be kind of hard to really see what's going on here. But I've also been on like my brow self-love journey of like growing out my brows and just kind of letting them do their thing. But this is the pomade. It's kind of dark, so I did tell them that I am a ginger, so I typically go for more taupe or what shades that they would suggest for like a blonde. So this is the shade they sent me, and I believe there is a brunette on the box. So I'm not for sure how this is going to work, but I do have their instructions here, and I have seen other people use this, so I'm going to try my best, you guys. So I have my stencil, then you just dip, press, using a tapping motion to apply, and then you use the angle brush to apply the pomade to sparse areas. Blend as you go using the spoolie brush for a natural finish. So I'm going to first take the spoolie and just kind of like brush the hair up. I am blessed with brows, you guys. Like, I have brows for days. So, yeah. Hopefully I can clean up a little bit around them, but don't mind any, like, stray brow hairs. Because, like I said, I've been on a journey, letting my brows do kind of their own thing. The pomade's very soft. And then, this is a little tricky to... I'm gonna hold it with 2 fingers and then just press. I don't think I got enough. Alright, I'm scared. I don't know how I feel about this, but I'm also wondering, like, did I just use maybe a shape that I shouldn't have? Maybe I should have went a little bit thicker. You know what? I think this one is a little bit thicker, so I'm just going to put this one over the previous, and with no extra product, just try to do the same thing, make my brows a little bit thicker, because I'm used to thicker brows, so seeing thinner brows on me sometimes is a little weird. That's a little bit better. I did the same thing to this side, just kind of spoolie my brows up. You know, I can really see where this would work for like a lot of people who don't want to fool with doing their brows every single day. But I can say I've just really gotten into the habit of doing like brow tints, and they work really well for me since I have so much like actual brow hair. I can just put the tint on and it just grabs the actual hair that's there already. I think the second one turned out better than the first, but I still don't really know how I feel, you guys. I am going to go ahead and do what they suggest. And I'm going to spoolie through. The shade is a little dark for me. Honestly, not bad. I mean, that was really easy to do. And I mean, I feel like they're pretty accurate, like aligned. I could be way off. I will see whenever I go into editing this. But I don't know, I'm not mad at them either. Like I said, they're a little dark for me still. I think I need a lighter shade for sure. This side, I went a little more light-handed than this side, and you can tell, like in person looking in my mirror, you can tell this one looks a little bit better on me than this one. This one just is so dark, and that pomade is not very forgiving when it comes to already using it because it's dark. So not bad though. I'm gonna go into some clear brow gel just to like keep these babies in place because they're wild. They like to go all over the place. There also is this brush, but I honestly am not noticing anything too, I don't know, intense that I need to fix. But I am going to try to pluck some of these like strays, which I've tried not to do for a while now, but I'm gonna clean them up just a little bit just to see like how it all pulls together. I don't know, this brow is just like my good brow. It turns out better, always.
Do shit right, take antidepressants, illness and welfare around my adolescence. My friends probably hate me, can't answer a message. Filled with anxiety, always behind me, feeling inadequate's always what's driving me. Not a role model, that's not what I strive to be. Can't go outside, I'm afraid they'd be fine.
I still think the shade is a little too dark for me, but after the initial clip that you guys seen, I was looking at my brows and I was like, they're just too thin for me. I'm not used to them being that thin. I need to go through the stamp some more and see if there's a better option for me when it comes to the thickness just a little bit, but this still isn't like the best lighting. And this is a vlog. It's messy around here. I've been going through stuff. I've been decluttering, spring cleaning, so don't mind the mess. But I have to say, I really like how the brows turn out. I want to try them again a little bit more light-handed because the shade is a little too dark for me. But I did use the little spoolie and brush that came with it to kind of add a little bit more color and just thicken them up a little bit because they were just a little too thin for me. But you guys can kind of see the overall shape of them. And then color-wise, I don't know if this is like washing me out or like giving me at least a little bit of color. There you go. You kind of see a little bit. Color-wise, I honestly don't think it would be that bad if it was just a little bit lighter, but they are pretty dark for what I use usually. But we're gonna see how they look later on, so I will make sure I do a check-in later with you guys as well. But thank you to iMethod Beauty for sending me these to try. The experience was fun, and it's always fun to like, when something goes viral, it's always fun to like try it out for yourself and see what you think. You guys will have to let me know what you guys think, or if you guys have tried these, please let me know. I have such bushy brows that like I want to know like how this works on somebody who has sparser eyebrows, if it like really helps them. I do think the overall concept and idea is really cool, and I feel like it would be even faster if I get more of a hang of it, but right now I was like so like freaked out a little bit by how thin my brows looked. But it also, I do want to point out, because I didn't have anything else on my skin, I went in with the tweezers they sent, which the tweezers are really nice that they sent in like this little kit, and was able to get like pretty decent pluck situation going because I had my brows stamped out, so it was easy to like go around and get like the other little stray hairs. But all that to say, I am about to sit down and film my last look using the Unearthly Cosmetics The Weirdos palette. I have an idea in mind. I think it's gonna look cute with this sweater, so I'm gonna go over there and film that in a minute where I've been filming the other parts at. But I wanted to check in with you guys because I have been reading The Spite House this week, and it's taken a turn. I actually don't know what chapter I'm on because, you guys, I keep getting sucked into library apps. I can't help it. And now that I'm getting further and further into BookTube, I keep meeting more and more people on like Discords and stuff like that like know all the tricks, and I'm like here for it. Now I not only have Libby and Hoopla, but now I am also, I guess this isn't technically a library app, but it's that Scribed or scribed. How do you say that? I think it's scribed, right? Yeah, I've been under a rug because I've heard people talk about this for a long time, but I'm finally jumping on that train. And I was like, I'm just gonna check it out. And since I get like my first month for free to like try it out, and I'm impressed. Hoopla, Libby, neither one of those had the audiobook for this, and I don't know, I'm going through a spell where I really love reading, but I'm constantly moving because of spring cleaning and doing my makeup and, you know, just doing all kinds of different things, taking the boys to school, running errands, doing things, being in the car, or just literally anything. Pretty soon, I'm going to be in the garden bed. I've already been working on my flower bed, and it's just nice to have my AirPods in and be listening to an audiobook. And because of that, I've been listening to a lot more audiobooks lately, really enjoying it. And I've seen other people say this, but like, why do we not have some type of way to like buy double, like buy the book with the audiobook? Why don't we have a subscription for that? Because that would just be like amazing. But yeah, I've been reading The Spite House. It's part of the Literally Dead book club, and it's literally the 4th today, Tuesday, when I am now sitting down and filming this. And Kayla's live for this one is, I think she just scheduled it today for the 8th or the 9th. So I do still have a few more days, but the audiobook just helps me like really stay on track. And like I said, I couldn't find it on Libby or Hoopla, but this had it. So I'm able to just listen to it on my phone while I'm doing other things. And then whenever I have a chance to just sit down, I jump back into the book because I love going back and forth. Or if I'm listening and I get confused about something, it's just so nice to pick up the book and be like, wait, what? And like figure it out. This book has taken a turn. It's wilder than I thought it was going to be. Like, I thought it was going to be kind of wild and be, you know, very haunted house vibe, but we're getting more of a plot and a story with it too that I'm really liking. I am currently on chapter 18 out of 46 chapters. This, I listen on 2 times speed. Again, it's the only way I can really focus in on audiobooks. But it says I have a little over 3 hours left. So on here, yes, because this chapter was wild. Chapter 18, if you've read this or you have this, wild. It's starting to like really amp up on me. But yeah, so I'm almost halfway. So I'm really excited to keep reading this. I'm gonna get it done in plenty of time. I'm doing different book clubs and readathons this month that are getting me outside my comfort zone for sure. But I'm not really like, I'm like, it's already the 4th and I haven't completed a book yet. So I am sweating it a little bit. I've got to up my game a little bit because I joined this book readathon called the Realmathon, and if you're on BookTube, I'm sure you know what this is, but if you're not, it's kind of like a team readathon where it's not just like team support, but like it's like the last team standing. So like I have to like try to like pull the weight and like help my team. So it really motivates you to read and gets you outside of your comfort zone on book picks and prompts and all of that. Like, ooh, I may have like bit off more than I can chew at the moment because I've just been very busy, but I'm getting back into it and I'm super excited. I'm hoping I can wrap up this book tonight or first thing tomorrow morning and jump into my next one. I actually have like 2 or 3 other books that I've already started this month, but I haven't gotten very far in any of them. But I'm gonna go film my other video. I just wanted to pop in, show you guys how the brows turned out, the brow situation today. I will come back and show you guys my last look because I'm doing a really cool, like, I'm using mainly like 2 shades, and I'm gonna put 1 shade up here and then the same shade down here on the lower lash line, and then the second shade put up here and over here, so it's like, you know, like the diagonal like swap kind of look, and then maybe a metallic over the lid part. I'm not sure yet, we will see. But I had a little bit of complications the last time I did a look with the palette, so I'm kind of like worried. All right, you guys, this is my completed look. I went with like doing 1 shade over here, 1 shade over here, and then I swapped them on the lower lash line. did a little metallic, the same metallic, it just looks like a little different because it's over different shades. I love looks like this that are just like weird, different. It's just a way to like change things up a little bit, and I love that. But for this vlog, you guys are just seeing me a lot today. I vlogged like a little snippet yesterday, a lot today with the brows and now the makeup and chatting about Spite House, but I was gonna sit down and film my March wrap up. And I'm sitting here thinking, I'm going through my laptop, like my plans, and I'm sitting here thinking, I can sit here and say I'm going to get to all this editing, but realistically, I'm probably not. So you guys get my March book wrap up in this vlog. Maybe in the future, I'll do individual videos if you guys would prefer that, but if you're okay with it just being in a vlog, I'm gonna do that. I honestly didn't read as many as I had planned. I have a lot of book clubs going that I'm like following along with. It is a lot, and I'm trying to play like catch up on a lot of them as well. So it's been a time, you guys. I'm kind of exhausting myself at this point, but I see the light at the end of the tunnel, and on top of that, I'm having so much fun that I'm not really like trying to slow myself down. It was mainly the fact that a lot of the books I read this month, like actual books, were beefy books. So it took me so much longer to get through my books this month because they were so long, but so good, you guys. I had so many 4 and 5 stars this month. I'm amazed. Now I am going to get, I'm gonna get my like book journal because I do like to fill you guys in on like a couple of notes that I write for each of them. But I did finally finish, I don't know, I think I mentioned this in a past vlog, but yeah, you guys are gonna see some of these books in my past vlog, like when I was actually reading these, and I say more about them there. So I'll be a little bit more brief, but Ninth House, finally jumping on this bandwagon, and I do have Hellbent actually right here in front of me. Ninth House, though, it is quite the read. It's a lot to digest, let me tell you. It's about the dark secrets of like the prestigious College of Yale and the dark societies, the dark rituals and dark magic that they have going on there. And in the mix, there's just a lot of elements and plots going on in the story. Not only are you meeting all these characters for this series, but you're also being introduced to like the whole idea of what these different houses and tombs are doing and what their rituals are doing for like the high and mighty or wealthy people who can like afford these rituals to keep their like successful and money flowing careers and lives. But on top of that, there's more to the story as well. There's a lot of other dark, mysterious things going on. Who can you trust type of vibes, mystery, and where the hell is Darlington? And there's a character that you end up loving so much. I did anyways. And I'm like, where did he go? Like he just vanishes. And it's just mind-boggling the whole time because you're like trying to keep up with so many different things. I literally filled my journal up with so many notes, you guys. It definitely is fantasy vibes, but it has dark elements. And I've said it before, I don't really read too many fantasy books, but if I do, and I love them, it's because they're probably darker. They have darker elements, and that's how like I stay invested. I did give this one a 5 out of 5 though. I really, really loved it, and I really am excited for the next one. Are we gonna finally know where Darlington is at? No spoilers, don't let me know. Next up is The House of Hunger. I read this on my Kindle through Libby, I believe, so I don't have it, but I will throw it up for you guys. This wasn't as long as Ninth House, but it was super, super entertaining. It's a gothic horror that is, I've said it before, it has like vampire tendencies, but technically it's not really vampire. They're blood maids. They live with their count or countess and pretty much offer their blood in return of I guess security in general, a place to stay, food, a lavish lifestyle, all while letting, you know, their count or countess feed off of them to potentially stay alive or stay young. I feel like it depends. I am intrigued to see like if she turns this into an actual series, because it mentions so many different houses throughout the book, and so I'm wondering, like, this is the House of Hunger. Are we going to learn about the other houses, the other countess and counts and all of that, or was that just it? I did give it a 4. I felt like there was just some parts that were a little strange to me, like plot hole wise. I also just had a really hard time with some of the characters. I feel like there was supposed to be more of like this like almost brainwash type of ordeal going on, but like I just couldn't really understand that or vibe with it that well. But the whole scenery, the gothic horror vibes, I was here for. I loved that. Next up is Finlay Donovan is killing it. I finally started the series. I actually started it through Libby, or no, Kindle Unlimited. So if you are curious to start this and you have Kindle Unlimited, you should check it out. But I started it on my Kindle, and then I was able to actually pick it up for my library so that I could pick up all 3. And you know, when you can get a photo op in, you just want to get a photo op in. So I did finish it, and I like being able to finish it with like the actual physical copy anyways, or reading it with the physical copy in general. But this is so good. I gave this 5, you guys, and I know that there's a lot of mixed feelings about it right now, and for the most part, I can say a lot of people agree that the first one is amazing, so I do agree. I feel like plot-wise, I feel like I've already said it a couple of times, but I'm sure if you guys know of this book, then you kind of already get the gist of it. But she is a romance mystery thriller writer, the woman in the book, Finlay Donovan, and she meets with her like publisher or like agent and at a Panera Bread, and she's talking about her plot, and it's literally about like offing like a husband in her book she's writing, and this woman overhears her, and after her agent leaves, she slips her a paper with her number and, you know, a person's name that she wants her to potentially kill. So she wants her to become the hit woman, and so it's just really funny and quirky, and I felt like that plot point can go either way. It could either be really good, quirky, unique, funny, or it can be just super, super cheesy, and I'm so glad it was the first. It was so, so good. I chuckled throughout it. I really thought the writing style was just so much fun, and I related to the characters. I loved the characters so much. Yeah. 5 for me. I am starting the second one now. I'm only a little bit in, you guys, and I just, my mind is blown on how this one like ended. So I'm excited to see how it's gonna go, but I have had some spoilers, so I'm a little bit like bummed about that. I know that some people enjoy the second book, but I know the majority hated the third book, which is the newest in the series, and apparently she signed on to do quite a few more, so we will see where the series takes us, but stay tuned for my thoughts on the next ones. Another beefy one, The Drift by C.J. Tudor. I wanted to read this anyways. I seen the synopsis of this about 3 different people getting stranded in certain situations, and this snowdrift, big storm is coming, and they're potentially in either hazardous situations or they are and there's already dead people. That's the vibe with this one. I talk about it more in my vlog, reading it as well, but yeah, 3 different people are in 3 different situations. 2 of them woke up and one of them's in like a carriage, like, or like a, what is that called? Coach, like a coach, like train type of deal. That's what I gather from that still, but and there's already like dead people, it crashed, and yeah, they're trying to figure out how to get out, how to make it with this like huge snowstorm coming and stuff. Meg awakens in a cable car like dangling, and there's other strangers with her in it. And then Carter is at the retreat already that the other ones were heading to, but they're having a lot of electrical problems, and he's having to like leave with the potential storm coming in and other dangers. This is a sci-fi twist, so there is kind of like an apocalypse, like end of the world type of ordeal going on. So it may be a little triggering in that aspect. But yeah, there is that sci-fi element to it of the people who get this virus. So it's loaded. There's a lot going on. Again, so many notes in my journal on this. Keeping up with 3 different POVs was like, oh my gosh. But I thoroughly enjoyed it. I gave it 5. I was really back and forth on it on 4 or 5 because I agree with a lot. I did join the Midnight Society, and Elizabeth from that, this is her book club pick, and she and a lot of the other ones talked about how there was portions of this that was just like kind of slow. We didn't really have to have type of ordeal, or just some questionable things. And I agree. I feel like 100%. But I love the writing style and just the overall vibe of it. Potentially, when I think of a 5-star read, I am pickier. And when it usually comes down to is everything else checks out, and I think to myself, would I read this again? With this one, I know I absolutely would. So it did get a 5 for me. I really, really liked it. Next up, I have also taken back to the library, but it is How to Sell a Haunted House. It is the newest book by Grady Hendrix, and oh my gosh, mixed emotions on this one, you guys. So many people dragging this book. I found it fun. I did not give it 5, I gave it 4. But it's very out there, but I kind of get that from his personality. I feel like the writing style almost is like perfect with like his personality of what I have seen of him, like certain like interviews or certain, you know, things where he's talking about his books. I kind of get that vibe and energy. So I actually really enjoyed this read from him. I feel like this is the type of read that I would like to pick up from him versus the last, I don't know, not as entertaining or just like jaw-dropping as this one. There was a lot of like horror elements of this, and it was like classic like Chucky horror that I liked it. I also seen some people mentioned that it was like a dark Toy Story, and I personally think that's like an easy way out of explaining it. Like, I feel like that's not really the vibe for me. I felt like it was more so that dark horror that's like Chucky, where like, no, you cannot fully take it seriously. It's a doll, you know? I also seen somebody say it's like Slappy from Goosebumps on steroids, and that is more of a perfect description of this. But there's also creepy elements of it that really reminded me of Annabelle and those movies. And if you think about it, like Annabelle being a real life possession doll or possessed doll, like it can creep you out. So you just have to kind of have that type of mindset and also like that type of ordeal, because I personally love the Annabelle movies. So I think that's maybe why I enjoyed it more. There was definitely questionable things about it. Some things I was just like, what? Like, why? There's a portion of it that I felt like he kind of threw in, and I was like, I understand we're building up to something, and we have to have like this POV, but like, at the same time, it kind of just felt like very out of place and like pointless to me. But I gave it a 4. That was also a pick from actually 2 of my book clubs. Gabby's Book Troop, that was their March pick. And then I've recently started following Into the Void book club by Voided Lux on Instagram. And they read this one. They do like quarterly book clubs, but this was the like first quarter book pick. So I'm kind of getting it in there last. I did miss like the like end of that and everything. If she does like lives, I'm not really sure. But I did miss that just because I was kind of getting it in a little bit later, but it was kind of towards both of them. My next one is Mr. Mercedes by Stephen King, and I have mentioned this as well, but I am a part of the We Read King book club. And right now we're tackling the Bill Hodges trilogy, and this is Mr. Mercedes, the first one. I have started the second one, but I of course didn't finish it for this book wrap up for March. But this is from, I think it was like mid-March to mid-April, so I did not read from all of my book clubs, unfortunately, in March, because like I said, like some of these were just so beefy and just took me forever to get through that. Yeah. For this one though, I did kind of go back and forth between the audiobook and the book, and I recommend. It was so much fun on slower days where maybe I didn't feel like reading. It was nice to put that on and listen to it, or if it was a busy day and I had a lot to do, I would listen to it while I cleaned or, you know, etc. So yeah, but I also really enjoyed reading it as well. And this is like crime fiction, and it's a different type of read for me for Stephen King that I didn't really know which way it was going to go, because I've read books from him, his horror books, but never really like crime elements, I guess. So it's definitely different. I can say the like villain killer in this book is very gross. There is a lot of triggers with him that you may want to look into before starting this series. But I have said it before, I have a really hard time liking characters in Stephen King's books. I always love the plot and like the whole, like how everything wraps together, the horror elements. He creeps me out. So I love that so much that I always freaking love his books. But for some reason, I never like this guy's characters. I can never relate with them. I just usually never like them, or I just think they're awful people. But this book, I like Bill, I like Janie, I like Jerome, I like Holly. There's so many good characters in this. You just kind of have to get past the nasty characters. But I also love the uniqueness and like the representation and just diversity of these characters, and not to mention that Holly, I love her character so much, and she is on the autism spectrum, which I just think is super awesome to have a main character with that representation. And that makes it more of a phenomenal read for me. There is, like most crime fiction, you kind of have to expect it. Sometimes there is those twists, and there was in this book for me. But there's also those other elements that are just like so like yeah, I seen that coming, you know. Also, I do still kind of wish that we didn't really know who the killer was so early on, but they kind of bounce back POVs back and forth between him and then like the detective and like them working the case. But check it out. It's kind of like a take on like the Zodiac Killer. It is a retired detective who's kind of questioning his life at this point and what he should do moving forward with it when a heinous crime happens that was never solved, and he starts getting a letter from the killer, the Mr. Mercedes killer. And yeah, he tackles the case along with some friends. Now, I was a little bit more particular with that one because I do like a lot of his other work a lot better. I still really liked this, but I do like some of the other stuff better, more of the horror elements, so I did give this one a 4. But honestly, if I think about it, I could see myself down the line in the future picking this series up again. But we'll see how it goes with the next two. But I'm really excited to start those and continue them with We Read King book club. We also have kind of like a sort of like readathon going on too on the Dark Tower series, and that is going to be quite the experience. Okay, last but certainly not least was an audiobook I finished out my month with. Got it in just in time, but really it was because my hold was almost up on it on Libby. So this one was Just Like Mother by Anne Heltzel, I believe. I didn't really know what to expect going into this. I just heard that it was a wild book, and
I don't know, I'm always intrigued by a creepy cover, and this is literally a baby doll head, so why not? It was a pretty fast-paced book, listening to it audiobook style. I'm assuming it's probably around 300 and something pages, maybe 400. I don't think so though. It was pretty quick. The characters are very questionable. It was a little odd. I felt uncomfy a lot, but it was wild. I literally just kept saying WTF, like what is going on? Like I don't understand. Or when I did understand, it was still the same thought, like, what? It was quite the ride of a book. It's like a cult, like the cult of like motherhood. And you have like this girl who's escaped this cult, and then she finds her long lost cousin who also escaped the cult. And you know what? I've said it with past books, and I will say it again. When you have a random family member or not family member, a random person from your past show up out of the blue and crazy shit starts happening, is it not just your automatic response like they are the problem? Oh my gosh, it is definitely that vibe. It is a wild ride, and there is so many things. I literally wrote down the creepy nursery rhyme because I believe I've heard this nursery rhyme or have read it, and this book, and I can't even remember what the other one was that I recently read, and I heard this nursery rhyme, but I'm like, I'm scarred. Was it How to Sell a Haunted House? I don't think so. I think it was something else. I've been reading too much lately, but a sailor went out to the CCC to see what he could see, but all that he could see was the deep blue CCC. Them singing it. WTF, I gave it 4. That is my wrap up, you guys. I don't know what else this vlog is going to pertain, but you know what? I feel good about having something else done for my week. I feel excited to be able to share with you guys now on my channel, like what books I finished and like really being able to go more into detail. I think when I finally have that quiet time to sit down and do my book vlogs, they'll be even more detailed and maybe better, maybe not. Who knows? But depends on what day I write. But I still think this is fun, sitting down and just talking about books, even if I'm just popping in the vlog to do it. So I hope you guys don't mind, because it's probably hella long, and it is what it is. But I am gonna go now because I am tired of talking. So I probably won't see you guys the rest of today, but who knows what I have planned for tomorrow. There's a lot going on this coming weekend. It's a 5-day weekend. I feel like I've told you guys that so much lately. I'm like, oh, we get a 3-day weekend. Oh, we get a 4-day weekend. Yeah, now it's 5-day weekend. At this point, my kids are not going to school, which I'm kind of okay with. But yeah, since this is so long, the rest of this vlog is probably going to be cut a little short. I may even start another one this week if I feel ambitious. But if this is it, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed my little brow stamp situation, my books for the month of March being recapped.
Well, I had 4 because one of them was cracked and I made them into a boiled egg.
Oh, okay.
And
Those are really pretty. They're really dark. These are their eggs that they made at school today.
And then I made the white, and then I ate the white part and kept the yolk in the trash.
Okay.
Because, you know, I don't like
Let me
the
see
yolk.
yours. Did you color on yours?
No, I just dyed my egg in yellow, and yellow made it magic.
I made faces on mine.
It's supposed to be yellow, but the yellow homemade. When this is supposed to be yellow, and I put in it, and it's a yellow one, and it just a magic instead of yellow.
Oh, cool.
I have faces on mine.
Hey,
Oh,
Mommy.
let's see them.
Mommy.
Oh, those are cool.
Mommy.
Yes.
I'll get magic if I hold this egg.
Oh, you get magic when you hold that egg?
And
Yes, but Yeah, but if I stop, if I stop holding it, I don't get magic anymore.
Oh, well, we gotta put them in the fridge so they don't go bad, okay?
And
We're gonna dye some more eggs, I think, tomorrow.
Well, I have two boy eggs and one girl egg.
Cool.
Always asking questions about my face, can't relate. Fucking caught my own reflection, broke a mirror the other day. Got a lot of bad shit that I'm taking to my grave. Got a fucking date with death on house arrest till trial day, so I grabbed the bread.